Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine. I'm here with John Wagner, founder and CEO of American Queen Steamboat Company, Victory Cruise Line, Hornblower, and more. We'll talk about it all here on Insider Travel Report. Well, now, so let's talk about why we're here.
Yes. The American Countess. So, Alan, the American Countess has been 3 years in planning. We took a whole year to plan it, a year and a half to build it, but it truly is an unbelievably cool boat. When you're on it, I know you're invited to the VIP christening cruise, but you'll see.
Well, wait, you were invited, and I saw it being built.
Yes, you saw it when we cut the boat in half. The old Canesville Queen, cut it in half, added a 60-foot mid-body section, added an extra, 50 cabins for 100 people. But it unbelievable boat. By the time you look at the library, all 5 spaces that are up on the bow, our grand bar, the theater, the dining room, the gym, perks, card room, unbelievable boat, and really will set the standard. But, very concerned with the crew and the comfort of our crew. We've given them a crew lounge, a crew gym, their own dine area, their own hot plate issue. On the sun deck, they get half of the sun deck. New staterooms that are larger than most staterooms in the industry. So
happy crew, happy guests.
Happy cows make happy cheese. Is actually being from California. In fact, our director of HR, Christina Price, she holds a monthly Happy Cows event. I think this month it's bowling. And so, but I really do care about the crew. You've been on board. You've seen the crew come up to me, very approachable. And
they speak highly of you to everyone.
Well, that's a great thing because we have so many great crew members that without them, I talk about people like Marvin Williams, our port engineer, that never lets a boat stop running, but he is so dedicated. And we have so many crew members that I think they feel sorry for me. They really do. So they just work extremely hard just so they don't let me down.
Let's not let anything get up to his desk. Let's stop it here.
Oh, yeah. But really, a great dedication. Our crew members are our most important asset. So I'm very pleased that on the American Countess, we can really take care of the crew and our passengers. You'll see just a stunning boat. And you got to see it being built.
No, I was going to say, I appreciate getting to see it from the studs. It was so bare, and then to see the real thing. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why we try and get everybody involved. I think most people don't appreciate, what we go through when we build one of these, both in design and the construction. But the fact that you were there, you got to see the boat cut in half. You got to see the 50-foot mid-body.
It's true. It really happens.
Cut in half, and you go, wow, that guy truly is crazy if he thinks he can cut a boat in half. But the finished product, Alan, stunning.
But that also impresses me, the fact that you'll look at a boat and then and your people will say, listen, we need more berths because we can fill it. And you said, in your mind, I think we can afford that, or that you figured out that the return on investment was worth doing this.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, a lot of people will tell you that if I do have a talent, and I'm not saying I do, but one of the crazy things about me is I can look at a boat or a building and I can really see the finished product. I mean, in New Albany, we own 4 historic buildings, and we have one that's called a Baptist Tabernacle, and was an old church built in 1887. The roof blew off it. And I went to show my wife Claudette, the ceiling had fallen in, the windows were busted out, the second floor was falling, you couldn't walk through it, there was dead pigeons, and I said, honey, we're going to buy this and turn it into the coolest office space in New Albany. She says, oh my God, you have truly lost it this time. But now, Alan, if you come there, it's a coolest space, and she did the same thing with the American Queen. When we looked at the American Queen in Beaumont, Texas, there were sheets over all the furniture and everything else, but she saw it come alive. She bought into the dream. She could see it. And so, So again, uncanny ability to say, hey, I think we can take this underutilized asset, really put it back in service. And, Alan, a lot of people, including you, say, hey, John, if you were to give me your elevator speech, about your success, what would that be? And I say, we always take underutilized assets. We buy them at a reasonable price. We use our intellectual knowledge to improve those assets. We deploy those assets on underutilized routes, thereby reaping extraordinary profits. And everybody goes, I get that. Fairly simple, but I get it. And it's been our spiel and our story. And we've done a great job, and the Countess was just that. We bought an old casino boat. We completely gutted it, took it down to the studs, replaced all the wiring, all the systems, all new galley equipment. But, people say, well, why don't you just build from scratch? Well, by taking that boat and using it, it probably saved us $30 million and got us in the market a year sooner.
And recycling.
And recycling, absolutely. Yep, you take an asset and recycle it and keep it there. So.
And you're all about sustainability. I've seen the plastics go away. I saw the water stations. Very good.
Yeah. So Ellen, again, with my first degree being in marine biology, and especially now that we're going to Alaska, a very sensitive area, I've encouraged our crew to say, guys, we need to set the standard in the industry for sustainability. So the first thing we did was get rid of all the plastic water bottles. Now we give everybody in your stateroom, there's an aluminum water bottle with your name on it. We have hydration stations. That reduced our plastic by 96%. Then we got rid of the straws.
Are you fleet-wide on that?
Fleet-wide on that. But now on the Countess, you can see we have these dehydration machines in the galley. So they take all the wet food, they compress it, get all the water out of it, they dry it, and it's a 20-pound block of what I call fish food. It clears the water and you can pump it overboard. And then the food, again, it dries it into these 20-pound blocks.
So it's lighter.
It's lighter. I think it's 300 pounds of wet food that comes down to 20 pounds when it's all desiccated. But even when we go to all the cities, we tell them, look, we're not throwing all this trash, in your dumpsters that results in a landfill. We've changed all the bulbs on board and all the fixtures to LED. We burn 20% less fuel by doing that. We've gone to biodegradable grease on our paddle wheels, so if any grease falls in, the river, it's biodegradable. But that's where we're spending our money, on things like that, to be nice to the environment.
All right, well, thank you for talking.
Thanks, Alan. Always a pleasure.
And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel.